Over the last few years, butterfly clicking has become much more popular amongst the Hypixel and Minecraft PvP community, earning a reputation for being a clicking method that allows you to click a stupid amount of CPS without that much effort. Today, we'll be discovering why butterfly clicking to an extent can be super overpowered, and the advantages and disadvantages of butterfly clicking when it comes to Minecraft PvP. Please subscribe. This video took me ages to make. Thank you guys so much for 50,000 subscribers. I hate this webcam. Oh. Let's get into the video. Exactly 1 month ago, I made this video talking about my experience switching from jitter clicking to butterfly clicking. But one thing which I feel like I failed to talk about in this video was exactly why I switched. First of all, let's get into the advantages of butterfly clicking when it comes to Minecraft PvP. One of the things that make this clicking method so overpowered is the clicks per second. And this is because butterfly clicking relies a lot on double clicking, which is when you click your mouse in a specific way that can make 1 click actually count as 2 clicks, which essentially doubles your clicks per second. Because of this, you can get a pretty high CPS butterfly clicking. In fact, some people can actually get upwards of 20 CPS consistently butterfly clicking, which is a pretty big advantage in Minecraft PvP. The reason why high CPS matters so much is because the higher your CPS is, the less knockback you will actually take, theoretically. This is shown a lot through these kind of videos which you might be seeing on YouTube. Because of this, butterfly clicking to an extent will actually reduce your knockback in Minecraft PvP. This clicking method in 1.7 PvP is even more effective, and here's why. When it comes to 1.8 PvP, if you don't know, there is actually a cooldown when it comes to hitting another player. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever been hitting another player and you find yourself not being able to hit them for half a second? Now, this is fairly common on Hypixel and other 1.8 PvP servers. This PvP cooldown is noticeable when you fail to aim on a player, and when you try hitting them again, you have to wait for the cooldown to expire. You will actually only be affected by this cooldown if you click more than 10 times a second. What makes 1.7 PvP so great is the fact that this cooldown does not exist in the 1.7.10 versions of the game. This is why PvP servers like Lunar, PvP Land, Velt, and Minemen are all 1.7 exclusive. Because of this, butterfly clicking when in 1.7 PvP isn't affected by this annoying cooldown, allowing you to register a lot more hits against your opponent. Second of all, the high CPS you get butterfly clicking can actually be super beneficial even outside of PvP. When it comes to clutching, bridging, and building, this particular clicking method can make these important things so much easier. While it allows for you to place blocks much faster while bridging and building, I've even noticed an improvement in clutching since I started clicking, as I'm able to achieve a better aim as well, which is useful for scenarios where you need to be quick to save yourself. It's also super satisfying to build like this while butterfly clicking, and bridging upwards like this is slightly less risky. Now let's compare this clicking method to jitter clicking. Third of all, butterfly clicking is a great alternative to jitter clicking. This is because, from my experience, jitter clicking can actually be quite difficult to get good at and requires a lot of time if you actually want to get good at it. Despite this clicking method still being quite difficult for aiming, it in my opinion is much easier over jitter clicking. Jitter clicking CPS varies for a lot of people too. Personally, I can only achieve 10 to 11 CPS while jitter clicking, which seems alright if I didn't tell you that I almost get the same normal clicking. This has stayed the same for me from every mouse that I've owned. From the Logitech Rival 100, my first gaming mouse, the G502 Hero, and the Model D. I've also tried different ways of jitter clicking, but they didn't really help, plus my aim was even more absolute garbage. Apologies for dissing jitter clicking, I'm just not very good at it. Butterfly clicking is also somewhat better for you as it doesn't rely on tensing your arms, which can help in ways varying on how long you PvP for. Also, in my experience, butterfly clicking is a lot less tiring in long fights and game modes such as nodebuff, and it can take a while to get exhausting. This for me is quite important because I'm not the best when it comes to PvP, and getting cramped halfway through a fight could be quite the disadvantage. Altogether, this makes butterfly clicking quite good if you're going to be Minecraft PvPing for the considerable future. So now that I've talked about quite a lot of the advantages when it comes to butterfly clicking, let's talk about the disadvantages when it comes to this clicking method. One of the dilemmas I talked about in the jitter clicking to butterfly clicking video was that it strongly relies on you owning a mouse that is capable of double clicking. This is actually becoming a problem as it's becoming increasingly rarer to find a gaming mouse that is capable of double clicking. This is because of a thing called double click prevention, which comes with a lot of newer gaming mice and brands like Razer, where they are designed to prevent double clicks, which outside of Minecraft PvP can be really annoying. Basically, this leaves a lot of Minecraft players essentially unable to butterfly click, unless they buy a mouse like the Model O and Model D, which actually enables you to disable double click prevention in its settings. This clicking method can also be bannable on some servers, because of the high CPS in some rare cases can actually be mistaken as a macro or auto clicker. So definitely be careful butterfly clicking on some practice servers like PvP Land and Minemen, because these bans, despite uncommon, can actually still happen to you, and if it does, it really sucks. Even butterfly clicking on Hypixel can actually come with some issues. Hit registration on Hypixel can get super messy, and this is much more common when butterfly clicking, sometimes causing a lot of hits just to completely stop registering. Something incredibly important to also take note about butterfly clicking is that although butterfly clicking can reduce knockback, the same goes with movement speed. If you haven't noticed, your movement speed actually slows down when hitting an opponent, and this becomes much more amplified the higher your CPS is. Yet another issue with butterfly clicking is consistency. When compared to jitter clicking and even normal clicking, butterfly clicking is incredibly inconsistent as it varies a lot due to double clicking. After talking to my Discord about butterfly clicking, a lot of people agreed that it was still a very tiring clicking method, and apparently it can hurt your fingers. So those are also some problems to consider when thinking about butterfly clicking. Overall, there are some pretty huge advantages and disadvantages with this clicking method and honest opinions, but I heavily prefer butterfly clicking due to the advantages of this clicking method, which at least to me outweigh the disadvantages of this clicking method. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments, and subscribe. It means a lot, please. Bye! Oh god.